my channel. We are starting today's reading vlog with a really fun part. This is like my favorite, and that's a book haul. So we're just jumping right in. I've got my coffee and this little bubble mug from Target, which is just so cute. I can't even get over it. And yeah, in the last I would say 4 or 5 days, I've had the chance to go out to a new and used bookstore that I don't live super close to. It's about an hour away, but it's one of my favorite bookstores that's near us or that I go to, but I just haven't gone in a really long time. So I had the chance to go to that bookstore, and I went to the one that's really close to me, and both bookstores had some really good used books. So these are all used books. And I'm going to start with the one that I got from the one that's far away. And so first I got these Infinite Threads, which is the second book to, it's This Woven Kingdom is the first book, but I can't remember if this series has a series name, it just says the sequel to This Woven Kingdom. So I got This Woven Kingdom when it first came out because I loved Shatter Me. And so when she was first coming out with a whole nother series, I was very quick to jump onto that and buy that first book. And then it took me forever to actually get to it and read it. And I felt like I didn't really, maybe my expectations were too high because I just didn't love it. But I've been hearing some really good things about it, and I haven't read it in years. So I was thinking I might jump back into the first book. And when I saw that they happen to have the second book used, I was like, I'm totally grabbing that. And I'm going to put that on my list of series that I want to finish in 2025. Then the next one is another second book in a series, and that is The Vow of Thieves. So this is the second book to the Dance of Thieves duology. This is just 2 books. And I've had Dance of Thieves for years, literally years. I cannot tell you when I originally bought that book because it was so long ago. And I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this duology. I also read The Kiss of Deception, only the first book, a really, really, really long time ago. And I loved it when I read it, but I never finished the series. I actually still very much remember the plot and everything about that book. So I definitely want to jump back into the Kiss of Deception series, and I really, really want to read the Dance of Thieves series. I even have a special edition of Dance of Thieves, and I've still never read it. I don't know why, but it's every time I try to sit down and read it, I just realize that it's just not the right time. I'm not in the mood for that type of fantasy. And so another book / series duology that I will be adding to my 2025 series that I really, really want to get to. This series is taking top priority. I literally have to get myself to read this. So this is being added, and I finally got the second book, which I'm very excited about because that means that when I finish the first book, I can immediately jump right back into the second book. Next is one that I've heard a couple of my favorite YouTubers talk about, and that is the Addicted Calloway series. This is kind of a really long romance series, and I've heard so much about it. And so honestly, I'm going to set my expectations really low because I think this came out a long time ago. So I wonder when it did come out, but yeah, 2013. This book came out in 2013. So I'm going to remember that when I pick this back up, and remember that this book came out in 2013. So it is literally over 10 years old. But I've heard great things about this series. So when I saw this one, I was like, I think I need this. But yeah. The next book is probably the one I'm the most excited for in this whole haul, and that is Rebecca Ross, Dreams Lie Beneath. But it is not just the Dreams Lie Beneath. This is a special edition that is from the Bookish box exclusive edition, and it is signed by the author. It also has a reverse dust jacket, and it has like this special cover underneath. Like the library binding of the book is like a very specific binding. But yeah, this reverse dust jacket is honestly gorgeous. So I cannot get over that. I've been trying to decide since I got this, like, should I put the reverse dust jacket on, or should I keep this one on? I just do not know. I have no clue, but this is so pretty. And yeah, the book is signed. It has sprayed edges. Like, this is just such a really, really cool find for a used book. And I literally paid $8 for this. $8. Like, what? That is so exciting. I love when I find really good, like, used finds like this. This is a really, really exciting find and a really fun one to add to my shelf. Plus, this year I read the, what's it called? Rebecca Ross. Divine Rivals. This year I read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, which is it's her newest young adult fantasy series. And I loved that series, and it made me really want to get into other books by Rebecca Ross. And when I actually went over to the section looking for like her section of books. And so when I saw that they had this special edition, I was like, oh, you bet I'm buying that. You know that I'm buying that. So there's that. Now, that's it for the first bookstore that I went to. So now I have a couple from the second used bookstore. The first one is actually One Day in December by Josie Silver, which is a romance that I've actually read before. So if you watched my December my Bookmas video on like recommended December reads or winter reads, this is in that video because I read this years ago and I absolutely loved this book. I actually remember that there are two characters named Jack and Sarah in this book, and obviously that's my name and my husband's name. And so this one just really stuck with me. This was my first like winter romance that I've ever read, and I really, really loved it. Now, some people do not really love Josie Silver, and some people don't really love this book. So this might just be like a me thing. I'm not really sure, but I loved it, and it like has a very special place in my heart. And I don't know what happened to my copy of it. I had a hardcover book of the month copy, and I don't know if I donated it or if it got like lost in my move from when I lived with my parents to when I moved into our apartment, because I actually lost a couple books in that move. So I don't know what happened to that book. I don't know if I accidentally got rid of it or something. I'm just not sure. But one of my favorite used bookstores actually had a copy, and it was very, very cheap. And so I was super excited to buy this one again and possibly read this sometime really soon, because like do a reread, because I remember loving this book. So yeah. Then the next one is part of the Meant to Be series. And that is By the Book. So there is a romance series called the Meant to Be series, and it is like 5 or 6 romance books that are written by all different authors, and they each are like a retelling of a specific fairy tale. So this one is Beauty and the Beast. I've only ever heard of this one and the Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. But I saw this one at the used bookstore, and I was like, I've actually been really wanting to pick up the books in this series, so that was really exciting. So I get to add this one to my collection, and it's just so pretty. Like, look at this book. That is so cute. It's a little bit like bent up, but other than that, it's just so cute. I love this. And then the last book. This is the last book of my book haul, and that is The It Girl by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is one of those authors that every once in a while I pick up one of her books, and I usually really like them. So I read The Death of Miss Westaway a really long time ago, and I really enjoyed it. And then I read another one, and I cannot remember which one it was. And then recently I picked up her newest one that was on Book of the Month, and I actually had a little bit of a hard time reading that, and I have a reading blog where I talk about that book, but I still wanted to give her other books a shot and a really decent chance. So I picked up The It Girl. Now this one actually has like this library, like this was definitely from a library, and somebody probably bought it from the library and then took it to the used bookstore. So the thing is, I've actually bought a book like this before where it has like the shiny library thing on it, and it's actually very easy to remove from the cover, and then the cover is in like perfect condition because it's been covered. So I'm actually really excited to I'm gonna take the plastic off of this because you can't really see on camera, but it's super scratched up, and it has like stickers all over it, like on the back, the side, it's just got stickers all over it. So I'm gonna take the plastic off of this one, and I'll show you what the cover looks like without the plastic. Hi friends, so it is now Monday. So last you guys saw that was Saturday when I did that book haul type video. So I had a really busy weekend. We had book club on Saturday night, and I host that book club, so I had to get my house ready for everybody to come over, and we had a really fun book club. We made ornaments and we did an ornament exchange. I made like Christmas punch and a really yummy dessert. So it was very fun, and I always love book club. But now today is Monday morning, and today I have my like typical Monday morning routine, which is going to the bookstore that I work at in the morning. I have a couple things to do there, and then I meet with the owner on Mondays, and we discuss like our week and just kind of everything that needs to be done and when. And so today I'm going to take you guys with me to the bookstore, and then we have a really fun little excursion with a couple of my friends. It is now Tuesday morning. So yesterday I vlogged going to the bookstore, and then the other part of my day was I ended up going to Raising Canes for the first time. So we do not have a Raising Canes in Michigan that's near our area. The only one in Michigan right now is Lansing, which is actually quite far from me. I'm actually much closer to the border of Ohio than I am to Lansing. So I went with a couple of my friends, as you guys saw, and we got Raising Canes and the Nothing Bundt cakes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those, but I've seen them many times and I've never tried it. So we tried one yesterday and it was so good. We even got the gluten-free one because my friend Emma is gluten-free. And yeah, it was just so good. It was really great and really fun. But an update on reading, what I'm reading currently is I am reading Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. So this is almost like a like a continuation of my last reading vlog where I read Wild Love and Magnolia Parks, because I'm reading Wild Eyes currently on my Kindle and I have the audiobook, so I'm kind of listening to the audiobook and then it's on Kindle Unlimited. And I have the physical book as well. So I have all of the options of reading this one. And I'm really enjoying this one, probably just as much or more than I enjoyed the last one, which was Wild Love. But this one's really cute because there's the male main character has like 2 young kids, and I feel like I don't often love the kids in books trope. Like, I don't know, it just has to be done right. And I feel like this one is so, like, they really add to the story, and the way that she wrote these kids into the story is just like, it's just so good. I'm very much enjoying this so far, and I think I'm on chapter 9 right now. So that is, let's see, I am 25% through the book. So that's really fun. I made my coffee this morning and I made like a breakfast sandwich, which I'm about to eat. But I just wanted to give a brief update on yesterday and then what I'm up to today. I actually don't have any plans today, so I'm planning to just read for the day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I got this really cute crew neck from the bookstore that I work at. So this really cute little book lovers crew neck is from Brooks Books. Hi guys. So it is now quite a while after that last video. So I think it's a full week later. So that like the Raising Canes trip and stuff and that reading update was like last Monday and Tuesday, I think, and it is now currently Monday, and it is the week of Christmas. So last week and this week has honestly been so much busier than I expected, and so throughout the week I did try to film like little reading updates and stuff, but you could tell, like, as I was watching back those clips, you could tell that I was really frazzled because I have just been so busy that the clips didn't really like make sense. Like, I didn't really finish like reviewing Wild Eyes, and I was like moving on to other books. So I just decided that I'm not going to put those clips in this video, and I'm just going to give you like a overall reading recap of last week, because I just think this will be so much better than those clips that I filmed. So I'm sorry about the randomness of that, but it is the week of Christmas, so it has been so busy. My husband and I have both been working, and so it's just been like really hectic. But let's do a like quick reading recap. So last you guys saw, I was reading Wild Eyes. So I did finish Wild Eyes. I really, really loved this book. Probably more than Wild Love, because this one was kind of like found family-ish. It was single dad trope with 2 young kids. And not that they don't have like a bad mom, but you can tell that they have a hard time with their mom because it seems like the mom kind of moved on from the dad and just the family overall very quickly. So it's kind of like single dad with these kids that are very dependent on him, although they do have to go spend time with their mom every so often. And then the dad meets this girl, and the kids kind of start to really, really like her very quickly, and they warm up to her very quickly, and it's just very heartwarming. It was very sweet and cute. I will say, personally, this is just 100% being like honest and my own feelings about this. The spice is a little too much for me. I don't really love a lot of spice like that, so that is the only thing that really keeps this from being super, super highly rated to me, is that it's very, I feel like Elsie Silver's writing to me is just very spicy. Like, it always is like just a little bit too much for me, but that's just a personal thing. So like, a lot of people, that doesn't bother you, and if that's the case, then you'd probably love this book. But that's just my personal opinion, is that it's just a little too spicy for my taste. But other than that, the rating of this book would be very high. Like, for me, if you cut out like most of the like spicy scenes, I would probably say that this book was like almost a 5-star for romance anyways. Okay, so after Wild Eyes, I moved on and I read, so this was part of the reading vlog that got a little bit like confusing, because I forgot to film like a review for Wild Eyes, and then all of a sudden I was like moving on, and I was like, I'm kind of in a reading slump, and so it just got a little bit confusing. But after Wild Eyes, I was kind of feeling a reading slump, because I had just read the second Beartown book that was like a 4.5, maybe even 4.75 star, like so good. I liked Beartown a little bit more than the second book, but like, this is a 5-star series for sure, and I'm not even done with the third book. But I had read, you know, the second Beartown book, and then I'd read Wild Eyes that was like pretty highly rated, but they were such different genres that I was like at a loss for, I couldn't even tell you what I was in the mood for. I was like craving another like really highly rated book. You know, when you read like a bunch of 5 stars in a row, and then after that you're like just at a loss, like what do I even read next? I really felt at a loss. Like, I did not know what to do. I didn't know what to read next. So I actually picked up a book that was in, I think, the very beginning of this video. I did a book haul, and I got Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. So the reason I picked this one up is because I've now read at least the first book of like every book series that Rebecca Ross has. So I have read, she's got a few. I loved Divine Rivals. That was her most recent series, duology. I loved Divine Rivals. I read both of them pretty much back to back. They were 5 stars for me. I loved them. I read The Queen's Rising, but not the second book. I just read the first book years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I did read the first one. I cannot remember what the book is called. It's like A River Enchanted, I think is what it's called. I did read that first book, and I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. And then she has one more standalone book that I have read, and I can never remember the name of that one. But that book, so all of these books were like pretty highly rated for me. And so because of that, I was like, I feel like I've been very much highly anticipating reading this book. I've wanted it pretty much since it came out. I've thought about it pretty regularly since it came out. And because all of her other books are pretty highly rated for me, I was like, I feel like I'm getting really good vibes from this book. So I picked up Dreams Lie Beneath, and this book was exactly what I was wanting. It is a great young adult fantasy book. It's a standalone, so there's no commitments, no nothing. Like, you just want a good fantasy young adult standalone. This one is one to pick up. I very much enjoyed it. It's not, I don't think it's considered like a cozy fantasy, but it did give like really cozy vibes. It was all like, the magic system in this was all about like dreams, and I don't know, it was just very, very interesting. It was definitely different than anything I've ever read. But I really, really enjoyed it. This one was probably a 4-star for me. So not a 5-star, but pretty high, and very much enjoyed it. Very enjoyable. Loved this one. This one was great, and I really, really recommend it for anybody looking for a young adult fantasy book. So then, after reading The Dreams Lie Beneath, I moved back to Beartown because I basically have not been able to get Beartown off my mind since I finished the second book, which is really interesting because when I read the first Beartown book, I didn't really have an interest in picking up the other two, although I loved Beartown. Like, 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it. But for some reason, I was in no rush to continue the series. Now, this was like last year that I read Beartown. So now it is like a year later, and I decide, and I have actually reread Beartown sometime in between the first time I read it and now. And I enjoyed it just as much the second time through, but I still wasn't ready to pick up the second book. So just recently, because of the weather changing and it being really cold outside in the winter season, I was really wanting like a wintry book, but not particularly like a holiday romance. I was just wanting like a wintry read, and I thought of Beartown. So I read the second one and literally could not get it off my mind. Like, could not stop thinking about Beartown ever since, and all the characters. And I mean, like, literally finishing the second book, I was sitting in my bed. It was way too late at night, and my husband's like, honey, are you going to sleep? Are you going to go to sleep? And I literally was like, I need you to stop talking. I'm finishing Beartown right now, and this ending is wild. Like, the endings are just so sad, and it's literally one of those like books where I feel like all throughout the book it's good, but it's not like I can't put this down until like the last 20%, and then it's just I cannot put this book down. I need to know what's about to happen. So with that being said, my current read is The Winners. I have been reading The Winners for a while now. I am about halfway through. I'm on chapter 56 and page 351. So I've read this much of the book, and this is what's left right here. I am loving The Winners. This actually might be my favorite in the series, even over Beartown, which is absolutely insane. I did not think that that would happen. And my goal is to finish The Winners before the end of the year, which I know that's not really a very difficult goal, but it's just that this upcoming week is really busy. We have Christmas, and then my husband's birthday is on the 30th, and then my brother's girlfriend's birthday is on the 28th, so we have just lots of stuff packed in between now and New Year's. So, and then we always have a New Year's party that we go to, obviously on New Year's Eve. And so literally from now till New Year's is a very busy week for me. I doubt that I'll be able to finish another book other than this by January 1st. So my goal for myself is to finish The Winners. Let this be my last book of 2025 and just, or 2025. I'm already a year ahead. Let this be my last book for 2024, and let's just like end the year with a bang. No pun intended, but if you've read Beartown, you know. Let's end the year with a bang. And I really think that, I just really think that this will be a 5-star read for me. I think this will be the perfect way to end 2024. And then going into 2025, I have already been working on setting some reading goals for myself and setting some like just general goals for 2025. And so in January, I will probably post a video where we just talk about New Year resolutions and all of my goals for 2025, my TBR list, everything like that. I have some really exciting stuff that I'm working on for 2025. So this will be a really fun year. So this is how I'm going to end this video. This will probably be my last video of the year. So I just want to say, as this is my first full year doing YouTube, I started in January of this year, and honestly, YouTube has been one of my favorite things that I've done this year. It has just been something that brings me so much joy, and I make these videos because I love making them. And so all of you guys who watch my videos, and especially my subscribers who have been here from the very beginning and watched all the way through, I just want to thank you guys, because honestly, like, I do this for myself. I do this because I love it, but it means so much more to me that I have people who literally subscribe and come on and watch every video. That means the world to me. And so thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. Even if you're just now subscribing, thank you so much for subscribing. And I hope that you will continue to watch all of my videos that come out from now on. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a really, really great Christmas and a great New Year's, and I will see you guys in 2025. Bye.